Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, it's time to knock off. Zhang Bei stretched his neck and heaved a sigh of relief. After cleaning up, Zhang Bei walked to the side of the road and opened a delivery app, 1.5 kilograms of crayfish, some mutton skewers, and cold beer. Perfect. Zhang Bei happily confirmed the payment. Just as he was entering the password, the screen of his phone suddenly went black. No way. This phone broke after only a month. Zhang Bei tapped and knocked, but the phone did not react at all. Just as Zhang Bei was about to put away his phone and find a place to repair it, his phone suddenly lit up. Zhang Bei picked up the phone and saw only two bright red numbers, 60. He did not react immediately. The number was changing rapidly. 5958. When Zhang Bei reacted, the number was already at 30. F***ck. Zhang Bei did not know what would happen. He could only stand there and wait quietly. 0. The phone turned black again, and the silence was terrifying. Suddenly, a red light spread out from the horizon like the morning sun. No, how could the morning sun have such a hot light? Everywhere the red light went, it turned into dust. Zhang Bei immediately turned around and ran. However, who could escape their fate? After a while, he closed his eyes and resigned himself to being devoured by the red light. After an unknown period of time, Zhang Bei slowly opened his eyes. What greeted his eyes was a pitch-black sky. In the middle, there were many stars that kept on flickering. Occasionally, there were a few shooting stars that streaked across the sky. Zhang Bei stood up and looked down at the ground beneath his feet. Instead of calling it land, it was more like a stone. Zhang Bei calculated the size in his mind. It was about 10 square meters. The space was only about 10 square meters. After circling around, there was nothing except some soil. However, what puzzled Zhang Bei was that although he had walked to the back of the stone, he had not fallen due to the gravitational force. While Zhang Bei was puzzled, ding sound suddenly came from space. Zhang Bei looked at the sky and saw a beautiful woman walking over from space as if she was walking on flat ground. The beauty reached Zhang Bei in an instant. A few lines of data flashed across her eyes, and she spat out emotionless words. Earthling Zhang Bei, welcome to Space Drift. I am 008. I will explain the rules of space to you. First, the place you are standing now is where you will live. You can also treat it as a space carrier and control it directly with your thoughts. Second, do not leave the filtered membrane around the asteroid. This membrane can help you resist the radiation in space and adjust the atmosphere and gravity inside the membrane, making you feel the same as you did on Earth. What if you leave the membrane accidentally? Zhang Bei asked. 008 replied coldly, death. Third, all the supplies you need, including but not limited to food and water, are scattered in space. Please search for them yourself. Fourth, survive. Try your best to survive. 008's tone became warmer when she said this. Do you have any questions? 008 asked. Zhang Bei rubbed his hands. I've been wanting to ask. What's that shiny thing above your head? This. 008 removed the floating ball above her head. What is this? Zhang Bei took it from 008 and observed it carefully. It was cool to the touch, but did not feel like crystal. It felt like ice, and it was shining. 008 looked at Zhang Bei touching the ball with a wretched expression and smiled. Do you want it? Ah. Zhang Bei was surprised. No. 008 smiled charmingly. Zhang Bei was stunned, but the coldness on his hand made him come to his senses. If I want it, what can I use in exchange for it? Zhang Bei held the ball and asked 008. He did not believe that 008 would be so kind as to give it to him for free. 008 thought for a while. You don't have anything I want now. How about this? When you have what I want, I'll come to you again. At that time, you have to give me what I want unconditionally. How about that? Zhang Bei lowered his head and rubbed the bead. After a while, he looked up. Sure, but I want to set some ground rules. Oh. 008 asked curiously, tell me. Firstly, you can't hurt me. Secondly, you can't hurt my family. Thirdly, you can't hurt my friends, Zhang Bei said seriously. 008 smiled. Okay, I promise. Zhang Bei nodded. 008 took a step back and returned to her indifferent self. The rules of space have been explained. Now, activate the cosmic system for Earthling Zhang Bei. Then, 008 turned and left the way she came. Zhang Bei opened the system and clicked on the personal information column. Name. Zhang Bei age. 25 gender, male code. JUF 0006 intelligence. 110 physical strength. 50 health points. 100 cosmic pollution value. 0 inch. What is this cosmic pollution value? Zhang Bei was very puzzled. And what is that code? Forget it, I'll find out eventually. Let's see what use this system has. Zhang Bei exited the personal information interface. What greeted his eyes were several options: world channel, people nearby, exchange platform, inventory, appraisal center. Zhang Bei opened the world channel first. Once he entered, he saw that a group of people was already chatting excitedly in the group. The other person is growing hair. What is going on? A girl said many things just now and left. They didn't even put me in the salt. She even told us to not leave this stupid bubble. So what if I leave, mighty cat? Brother is a real man. Day toffee. Has anyone found food? I haven't eaten since yesterday. Also, it's so cold here. I feel like it's 0.20 degrees Celsius, mighty cat. Ah. It's so hot here that I'm about to collapse. Zhang Bei was puzzled. He suddenly thought of the code in his personal information interface and gave himself a nickname, North. Are there any astronomers? What are the 8 major planets called in English? Super cute. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Lord counting sheeps. My code starts from MO. Where am I? Super cute. Then you might be on the moon, mighty cat. I'm Ne. Am I on Neptune? Day toffee. F*CK, I'm on me. I was wondering why it was so hot. Then this big fireball in front of me is super cute. You guessed right. It's the sun. Zhang Bei was extremely glad that he was living in a more suitable place. He looked at his code and confirmed that he was on Jupiter. But what is this F? Is it an area? Zhang Bei was puzzled. While Zhang Bei was studying the system, the ball 008 had given him earlier was emitting a weak white light. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.